Let's go to Costco. I need to get some things.
I needed two things: blood pressure medication and coffee. 45 minutes later, I walked out with 10 items and a receipt for over $120. How does this happen in retirement? I wasn't buying a TV, although that 100-inch screen was appealing. I wasn't buying patio furniture. I didn't go there to buy a kayak. I bought some necessities. All right, this was a huge temptation, but no, I did not buy the multiple caramel apples only because you could get 3 for the one price. The problem with those is I would eat them all in one sitting. So I continued on my mission. First stop was the pharmacy. So after going to the pharmacy, I did my normal kind of walk through the store. I needed to find the coffee. I picked that up. It was some K-Cups, the Pacific Bold. I hadn't really bought those in a long time. Continuing to just look for things that while I was there, I thought, well, I might as well get them while I'm here. One of those things I found, though, was some iced tea I had tried out in the past. I picked that up as it was a promotional item. And that was maybe one of the things that was somewhat of a impulse buy, but I'm glad I did it. They're really, really good. They're natural. Continued on. I picked up some things. I realized I was running out of the Tylenol that I take for my aches and pains. I picked up some of that. I picked up some ham, which isn't the healthiest choice, but it works in a pinch. With the cottage cheese, high protein. I looked at the steaks, but I didn't pick any up this time. I picked up some creamer for the coffee, the whipping cream. I picked up some pretzels. Again, they're organic. Hey, that's healthy, right? And then I kind of finished off seeing the creatine. Well, I blame that on YouTube because I've been hearing it's real important as we age for the mind and the body recovery. And I thought I would try it. Again, it's organic, and I'll keep you posted on that. That was also an impulse buy. Quick review of the cart. I forgot a couple things. The kefir, whatever. Oh yeah, got to try that, and I have. And I don't know if I can get used to that. But gut health, the sauerkraut, excellent, and eggs. I forgot I picked up eggs. All right, the moment of truth to check out. 10 items, $125.
99, 8, 99, 19.
Thanks for coming with me on my Costco run today. You know, I find that what I buy in retirement, especially at Costco today, or on the days I go there, it changes. Retirement changes what I buy. You know, in the past, I think we all typically spent our time buying for our kids, work, vacations, spend our money on these things. And today, I tend to we buy things to keep ourselves healthy, or before we make a purchase, we think about these things. Will they affect our health? Hopefully in a positive manner.
Thank you for the coffee, guys. When I went into Costco, that coffee had been starting to cool, but I think Phoenix in the summertime is the only place that, little tip for you here, life tip. If you leave your coffee in the holder, when you get back from shopping, it's hotter than when you went in. Well, again, thanks for coming with me with Costco today. I know y'all just hung in there because you want to see what I bought. What do you buy at Costco? Put that in the comments. But, you know, everything today pretty much had a purpose. I didn't buy anything off the cuff. Those were all things that I did need. I typically buy, with the exception of creatine. But everything else on my list right here is pretty much what I will typically buy. And I still spent $100. 10 items, $100. So that's retirement. No reckless spending, just living simple. Now, what I often have said and what I often hear say is Costco's so expensive. Really not. It's being alive that's become expensive. You know, that's something retirement YouTube doesn't prepare us for. Now, I got to tell you what purchased today, while it wasn't irresponsible, which purchase surprised me the most? It was the creatine. I happened to come around that corner. There it was. I heard so much about it from YouTube. Heard about it back in the day, but it was more about muscle building. We don't need that, or I don't need that at this age. But they are finding some interesting things about mental and physical recovery. So I thought I'd try it. I'll let you know. Stay tuned. The question I think about is, would a 40-year-old Phil, the boomer, buy these things? You know, coffee, maybe, because I didn't start drinking coffee till in my 40s. Meats, yes. Creatine, no. So as I pulled out of Costco today in that Maserati, being thankful for all the things I do have, you know, I thought about how retirement or even semi-retirement or 60 plus years of age and living has changed things for me. These weren't impulse buys, as I've said, but they were buys that I think about. Number one, how will it affect my health as best as I know and have learned? And how will it affect my financial well-being? Because going forward, regardless of the money we have, it impacts health. It impacts making the best of the way things have turned out in my life today. Most importantly, at the bottom line now of all this, I'm realizing it's impactful of how long I will successfully keep my independence.
Here's what I found.
I might have to look at that. Well, that's what a typical Costco run looks like for me. When was the last time you went to Costco, and what did you buy? So Siri, you said you had what did you find on how I can successfully keep my independence at 67 on Social Security? Results. How I can do that? Maintaining successfully your independence on a fixed Social Security income requires proactive budgeting, optimizing local and federal resources, and making preventive health and home adaptations. Take advantage of these Phoenix-specific tools. All right. Find eligible programs, local senior resources, protect your mental independence, free fitness classes, and simplify daily life and transportation. And lastly, most important of all, stay out of Costco.